Mike Jones once said, "Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me." Drake had a lyric in Pound Cake. Now, I personally didn't love this lyric, but it applies in this scenario. He said something about my classmates went on to be accountants or work with their parents, but thinking back on how they treated me, my high school reunion might be worth an appearance. Make everybody have to go through security clearance. Okay. On The Office, if anybody watches The Office who enjoys the Cool Hand podcast, when Michael Scott went and started the Michael Scott Paper Company, and then he started taking business away from Dunder Mifflin, what did they do? Idris Elba and David Wallace, they wanted to buy out the Michael Scott Paper Company because it was successful. It was draining business. So it was like, okay, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Or if you can't beat them, absorb them. Yeah, join them, I guess, whatever. And when Michael Scott came back up to his old workplace, he said, how the turntables... Something happened just yesterday that I saw, and I don't talk about current events, but this specific current event brought out a dormant topic that I've been wanting to speak on this Cool Hand podcast because it's something that I live by and I stand on. So there's this clip floating around of Micahel B. Jordan getting interviewed by a woman. I've seen this woman around. She'd be with like Angela Yee from The Breakfast Club, woo woo. And that's not even important. I think her name is like L'Oreal or something like that. Okay. And for some reason, I feel like she is an artist too. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So there's this clip that was floating around, and it's valid. It's valid, I believe. Like, it's not no made up stuff. You know, you see something on Twitter and it's not real. And there's some type of premiere. I don't know if it was for Black Panther or something. And she went to school with Micahel B. Jordan, the person who is interviewing him on the red carpet. And he said something along the lines of, yeah, I'm still corny, right? Or I'm the corny kid or something like that. What he was doing was acknowledging that this woman who is now interviewing him on the red carpet for a film that he's heavily involved in, he said, I'm the corny. Remember? Yeah, I know you. You called me corny when we was kids. So you look back and there's another little piece of information that's floating around. I don't know if it was from one of her interviews or something, but she admits that her and other kids used to, I don't know if bully is the word, but make fun of, crack jokes on, rank on, roast, woo woo. They used to, okay, your name is Michael Jordan. Okay, well, you're not no Michael Jordan. And then he was apparently bringing headshots as he's trying to get his acting career popped off. I haven't seen too many Micahel B. Jordan films. I know he was in that little Fruitville Station. He was on The Wire, I think. He was in Hardball. So he was in stuff. So it makes sense. He's bringing headshots to school or whatever. And they were making fun of him for that. But something that when I saw this, I'm like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And before I really go in, because I have no script for this, I try to be a little more organized on the Cool Hand podcast, just to have like a structured, organized podcast. But this one, I'm like, I got to speak on this one just straight from the heart. So I might jump from topic to topic. I don't know how long this is going to be. But on my Instagram, I said that I have this liquor. And in my earlier episodes, I would always like, have a drink. Just something like a little gimmick. And I kind of fell away from that because I don't drink all the time. And I'm like, I don't necessarily want a drink when I'm doing the podcast. Like, it's really for show. And that's what this is. So this is Hein Rare. This is cognac. People know that I like cognac, but it reminds me of like Remy Martin because Remy Martin is cognac and it says fine champagne. So I'm expecting this to be a little bit bubbly. But before we go in talking about this Micahel B. Jordan topic, we're just going to pop this open. I have to go somewhere in like an hour. So I'm just going to have a little bit. I'm going to pour this up for the camera. Watch this. This is right in front of the mic. Get that. right, that's enough right there. Just a little bit. We're going to do a little taste test. Not, it's cognac. It's yak. It's yak. This was about $60 at the liquor store. Oh, I'm going to take one more little sip and then we're going to get back to it. It's smooth. It's good. It's good cognac. It's smooth. It's smooth. It's smooth. I think that's the best thing I could say right now. It's smooth. Anyway, so that's Hein cognac, fine champagne. Pretty good. It's smooth. So anyway, so I got a little liquor. Hair is now growing on my chest, but let's get back to what we was getting to. And oh yeah, you feel the burn. Yeah, you feel it. You feel it. That's good. That's good stuff. Anyway, so when I look at that clip and I saw that, my motto is to be lame. Be a lame, especially for kids. And no young people really watch this in the sense of like kids who are in school. I don't have like, I see the analytics. There's no like 0 to 17-year-olds watching this. I think the percentage is literally zero. Like there's from 1 years old to 0 years old, newborns to 17-year-olds, nobody's watching this. So it really won't apply. But if you can relate to this, I would appreciate it if you let me know if you can relate to this, because when I was in school, I was myself up until a certain point, right? And at a certain point, I began to conform to what other people were like, if that makes sense. Like I wanted to be cool. I guess as I got older and I realized what cool was, or what cool, let me put it in air quotes, what cool looked like. Wearing Sean John Rockefeller, having the nice Air Forces, Timberlands, this, that, getting girls, that type of person, being street, knowing how to knuckle up and squabble, like stuff like that. And it got to a point where I personally wanted to fit in. I was hanging around people that I didn't fit in with. And when I look back at that, I think, what are you doing? Like, just be you. And I myself have been called corny. If you watch this, you probably think, oh yeah, you might say like, that's corny. Like what he just said was corny. How he sounds is corny. This is weak. That was this. You have a name for something that might make you cringe, So the thing about school and being young, your mind is still developing. I'm not a neurologist. I don't know the, the science and things and psychology behind, growing. But when you're young, you're impressionable. Things influence you more. Okay. And when I think about high school, when I think about school in general, how much of a minor part having a reputation or being cool, what people thought of you in high school means absolutely nothing when you look back at it. Absolutely nothing. People haven't, quote unquote, peaked. There's people who peaked in high school. Those were their glory days. They get out of school and fall off. They're not the man no more. They're not that chick no more. You leave high school, maybe you go to college, maybe you go to a trade school, maybe you do this, do that. But it's like you're starting fresh. Like you're not that guy. Trust me, you're not that guy. And I tell young people, I don't know as many young people as I used to, not a whole bunch in my congregation or anything like that. But I'm like, be a lame, be a nerd, stay out the way, because this is get your work done and get out, because this is such a small piece. When I look back and check this out, when I look back and see some people that I went to high school with, some people that I went to school with, middle school with, they're not who they were. And in a sense, I feel like it's unfair to say they're not who they were because, okay, we were in like 6th or 7th grade. Like, what do you mean they're not who they were? But they're not the pop in person no more. They become a regular, ordinary citizen just like me. And then things change, right? So when you're young, you're eating Flamin' Hot Cheetos, you're eating Little Debbie's, you're eating whatever you want. You're eating pizza, chicken tenders, this, that. You get a little older, you put on that weight. You're drinking every day, smoking every day. It's affecting your look. So now you're not as attractive as you used to be in high school. And these were one of the things that got you lit in high school. Or maybe you were an athlete and their basketball skills or football skills, you were the man. You get out of high school, you're no longer the man. You get out of school in general, you're no longer the man. And it's interesting how in hindsight, you're able to think clearly. I guess I don't think that's not like a new revelation or anything. When you look back, you can think clearly and you can see things as they really were. And as I've said maybe 3 times at this point, how the school experience was so small. You're there to do your work and get out. Yeah, you can have friends, have some activities that you participate in, but it really wasn't anything. And going back to this Micahel B. Jordan interviewer situation, I think it's also a good lesson in kindness. A good lesson in kindness. I'm parched. I'm going to go back to the drink. Like that. It's not like the alcohol is going to like quench my thirst or anything, but whatever. In all fairness, kids will be kids. In all fairness, because you can't, I'm not going to sit up here and act like we didn't roast. I ain't going to act like we didn't. I still be getting on people's, like my close homies though. You might see me, roast my close homie, big head, look, like stuff like that. But in school, it's different. If you got messed up kicks, they're going to get you. I don't know how it is in school these days. I have no idea because the climate has changed. The social climate has changed. I don't know what kids get ripped on, roasted for, get fired on, whatever. But it's like, okay, you got no gear. Oh, you can't. You fat. You ugly. You got this. Like I said this in past episodes. I got roasted for my teeth. I got 2 large front teeth. I was called SpongeBob. I was called Beaver Teeth. What else? SpongeBob, Beaver Teeth, Bugs Bunny. So things like that. Or I'm pigeon-toed, like, yo, you can't walk straight. Woo, woo. But it's like kids will be kids. And it's not an excuse. But it's like treat people the way you want to be treated. Now, if you don't mind getting roasted, woo, woo, all that other stuff. But you think about Micahel B. Jordan, and he remembered that. He reminded her. Now, he could have ignored those feelings of like, oh, let me say something like, yeah, I remember y'all called me corny. But they could have just had a normal interview where he just acted like nothing happened, but he's on the joint, he might be feeling himself. And honestly, those feelings stick with you. You don't forget that. I just brought up what people would call me. I can give you names of people who said something about me. I can give you names. So it's not like, when something might hurt you or affect you, you remember it. You remember it. You can remember names and faces, and he did. He's like, oh, she's popping now too on a certain level. He's Micahel B. Jordan. He's up here. He's at the top of the game right now. And that's a real rap. And you can see in the interview, like he answered her questions. I thought when I saw the clip that he was just going to be like, you called me corny, keep it pushing, and I'm going to move on. But he gave her the interview, and you can see like he was kind of feeling himself like, Like I'm that guy now. Like I'm the man, and the person who you decided to make fun of. Remember them headshots I took? I was bringing to school, and y'all was roasting me for it. Well, they paid off. Thank you for coming to my premiere. I don't know if it was a Creed premiere or something, but in this scenario, thanks for coming out. Have a good time. Get yourself some champagne. Sincerely, the person you called corny. I'm gonna leave it alone right there. It's a lesson in kindness because you don't know how your words will affect somebody else down the line. Treat people right. Treat people right because you're thinking about the entertainment industry. This is what they say in the entertainment industry. This is what I've heard because I'm not in no type of industry. But they say the same people you see coming up are the same people you're going to see when you're coming down. So you think about somebody who you maybe rubbed the wrong way. And a lot of things deal with politics. Things deal with politics on the most basic levels. My first job was in a Kroger deli, and there was drama and politics. Every job that I went to, maybe except Pier 1 Imports, there's always some type of politicking that goes on. There's somebody who wants a promotion. There's somebody, I've been to jobs where I know the manager held a grudge. Facts. And how that grudge worked out? Oh yeah, I'm not gonna oblige this. Oh no, I know that person. We ain't gonna hire them for maybe a petty reason or something. I don't know. Huh. But there is a lot of politics that goes on like I said, even the lowest levels. So you called bro corny back in the day. And now let's just say he's in this executive position. And he's in the mix of what you are trying to get into. He might get you up out of here. He might deny you something because he's involved, or he's involved in something and he says, if that person's involved with it, you don't got me. Make your choice. It's a lesson in kindness because I feel like that little clip was so telling and I think it was so appropriate. But another thing is, okay, it's a lesson in kindness. Be nice to people. And at the same time, like I said, I'm not like kids will be kids, but that's not a great excuse. You don't have to roast people. You don't have to. I don't want to use the word bully, but it sounds the way that I read the little excerpt. And for, full disclosure, I didn't read the whole interview and I only saw a clip. I want to make that crispy clear. I saw the clip because sometimes the clips don't tell you everything. You have to see the whole thing. I am fully acknowledging this. And that's another reason why I don't cover current events. That's really not what I do. But as I mentioned in the beginning, this is a topic that I was going to speak on anyway. What's the next thing? The next lesson. Okay, kindness. You don't know how your words and your actions can affect others. And it's not like you want to be kind because you think like, oh, this person might be something one day. It's, that's like fake kindness. It's more so just kindness in general. I'm not going to roast this dude because he brought headshots or his name is Michael Jordan, but no, you don't hoot like Jordan or whatever they might have roasted him for his name. Because check him out now. She in the interview, she's saying the other black dude, Kang, I don't know his name, Jonathan Majors or something like that. I call him the new black dude. I call him the new black dude because there's only like so many black dudes in Hollywood who are like on that like big stage where they can get them roles and woo. And I'm like, this is the new black dude. Like he's the new black dude who's about to get all the major roles. Like he's in front of our faces. He's Kang. He's in the Marvel movies. He's in Creed. He's in this and that. So new black dude comes over And she's like, "Oh, who's the better looking? And we got the two most good looking dudes in the world right now. Woo woo." She's over here singing their praises, and one of the person who's she's singing praises to is the same one that she called corny. But you don't want to. It's just be kind. You don't have to roast somebody. You don't have to roast somebody. You really don't. But another thing is be yourself. This is the biggest thing for young people in the sense of let me clean up my statement. Be yourself in the sense of you don't have to fit in. If you're a funny dude, you just might be a funny dude. You don't have to force a joke in there just so you can, try to make other people laugh. Be yourself. If you're not a funny person, it's like you don't like to joke around. You don't like to tell jokes, not at the expense of others. But be you. Be you. You ain't a gangster. Don't try to be one. You a nerd? Be a nerd. Because trust me, look at the climate today. I'm 29 years old. I was born in 93. The stuff that was whack when I was in school is lit now. It's the wave now. These new young kids don't care about none of that stuff that we cared about as youngins back when I was in middle school, back when I was in high school. You like Naruto? You like anime? Oh, me too. Dap me up. Back then, there was memes about the one kid who ran to the lunch line like Naruto. I don't know nothing about it except the name and them people who be wearing them little bands around their head. I don't know nothing. So, because I never got into anime. Ooh. So be yourself, dude. And it's cool. And check this out. I'm gonna keep it a buck. There was a time, I say this to everybody, like, I call myself an idiot and things like that. And I wholeheartedly regret my high school experience because I was playing around. I was hanging with people who were like that, and I wasn't like that. I was a phony. I got along with some street dudes, but I wasn't a street dude. So what happened was I started, my primary group of people that I'm rocking with are street dudes. If you haven't figured it out by now, I ain't street. So what am I doing there? I'm getting bad grades. I wholeheartedly regret my high school experience. You want to know why? Because I wasn't being myself. I was being somebody else. I was trying to be something that I wasn't. There was a point where I was in a different high school and I put my head down and I got to work. I was playing around for so long in high school. And I'm like, what happened to me? I was a good kid. There was a point in time I was in the gifted program. There was a point in time where getting a B wasn't acceptable, but I was so far gone from that. So at a certain point, I started going harder in school. I started doing my work because I was doing so bad. And once I did that, and it was hard work. I'm not going to act like it was hard work. Like, okay. And I had a job at this point too. It's like, okay, I got to, do this, then, get all my work done and, then go to my regular job from 5 to 10 or 5 to 9 at the deli and then, get home. It was tiring. But was it that hard to get my work done? No, it was not. It wasn't. I started going to tutoring. Like I had a math class. There was some stuff that I didn't understand. Mr. Moore in Campbell High School on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can come to his, he did tutoring. I started going to tutoring for things that I didn't understand. And that helped me out so much. I put my head down and got to work. I wasn't rocking with nobody. I wasn't I had some friends who were considered lame. And I was me. I was still dressing. I was still putting it on, but I wasn't trying to be in the mix, dude. I was not trying to be in the mix. Facts. I did my stuff, but check this out. I was being me. What was happening? I was still getting looks. And this is not, when I say I was still getting looks, I was still being noticed by people. Like people, oh yeah, I had these Lacoste pants. He's like, oh, that's my dude with the pants. Woo woo. People like, I was focused, but I was still drawing attention, if that makes sense. Like I can't fully explain, but it's like people were drawn to me. You understand what I'm saying? And I wasn't worried about nothing. I was being myself. So it's not like I couldn't have friends from being myself. It's not like people didn't want to talk to me or rock with me because I was being myself. I was being me. And I could still be a normal person. I didn't have to try. So if you're corny, be a cornball. How the level of corny, some corny people are annoying. And I could be one of them. Some people like just tell like corny jokes and it's in their personality. But the one thing I do respect is that they're being themselves. At the very least, at the end of the day, you could be the most, if you're not hurting anybody, like a corny joke won't hurt nobody. If it's in your personality to do certain things and you're not hurting anybody, what's the problem? What's the problem? Be kind to people. You don't got to roast people. Be kind and be yourself. And just like a medicine, like taking a pill or taking a liquid, or you're getting an IV infusion, there are side effects. Now the main thing is to be kind, and then on the other side is to be yourself. But then on the flip side, there's the side effects. This person might open up a door for you in the future. This person might be able to get you through a door in the future. You might be interviewing him one day on a red carpet. I think that's it. I think that's all that I want to say today. But that situation really, like it hyped me up to do this. Like this topic probably wouldn't have been spoken on until like 2024, because I have so many other ideas, guests, interviews that I need to get to, that I don't always get to certain topics. They always get pushed to the side. But that Micahel B. Jordan stuff fired me up. It truly fired me up, because I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've been talking about all the time. Because check this out, and this is what we're going to end on. Check this out. I'm somebody who, and I was just talking to my wife, I was showing her pictures of some of my friends from high school. I go back. I still think about people, man. I got a heart. I wonder how people are doing. I remember first and last names. I remember a lot of first and last names. You went to school with them and taking attendance, this, that. If you're going to school with somebody and you know their name, especially middle school, people's first and last names. All you got to do is look them up. On Instagram, I use Instagram, on Twitter, and sometimes I just Google search the person. If it was somebody I went to school with in Pittsburgh, I'll do first name, last name, Pittsburgh. See if I can find something. If it was somebody in Georgia, first name, last name, Smyrna or Austell or Atlanta or Georgia, just to, narrow down the search. I see how people are doing, and I see a lot of people fell off. Yeah, I see a lot of people fell off. And I ain't no Micahel B. Jordan. I am not a rich man. I am not a baller. I'm not a CEO, a boss, but I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing okay. I'm still together. I work out every morning. I eat healthy to the best of my ability. I have a wife that loves me, and I love her back. I think I'm doing okay. And it's messed up when you see like 50 said, dang, homie, in high school, you was the man, homie. What happened to you? Be kind to people, and please, 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 please be yourself. Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Thank you for watching. Easy.